Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lindsay Prez, your friendly neighborhood beauty enthusiast. Today I'm showing you my signature beachy waves. And I know that I already have a beach wave tutorial, but this is different, I promise. I get questions about this hairstyle every single day and how I make my curls not so curly and just look messy and effortless and just like I woke up with this perfect hair. So I'm gonna go through, show you products I'm using, tools I'm using, and it's super simple. It only took me 20 minutes while talking, which is very impressive for me. If you wanna see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. So what I'm going to be using today is my babylisspro flat iron. You guys know this is my favorite flat iron. Have one at the salon, one at home. Recommend them to every single person in the world who has hair. They're amazing, work so good. So this is going to be very, very similar to my beach waves that I did with my flat iron. It's just gonna be a little bit more of like a softer texture, and it's gonna be just more beachy. It's not gonna be as much as a curl. It's not gonna be as refined. It's gonna be very lived in, very messy, very beachy. I don't have a better word. So if you haven't watched that video, you don't really need to, but if you don't love this look and you want to go back and watch that one, great. I have prepped my hair with a heat protectant and then my volumizing, my root booster from Kevin Murphy. So that's how we're starting my hair. And then I just blow dried it. You don't have to blow dry it. You can just let it air dry, whatever works best for you. Blow drying it and using that root lift just gives a little bit more lift and volume through there. So how I'm gonna start is sectioning out my hair per usual. I always do the section right above my ears. I guess not even above, it's like right at the top of my ear is what works for me in my head shape. And then I always start with a middle part, even though I never wear my hair in a middle part. I like to style my hair with a middle part and then flip it to give it, again, more movement and texture. I have my iron set at 380. Your hair is finer than mine. So my hair is like medium. It's a fine texture, but I have a lot of it. So it's pretty strong. If your hair like is breaking, if your hair is very, very baby fine, where like it doesn't hold a curl, it blows away in the wind, you want to go down a little bit. If your hair is kind of coarse, you have curl pattern to your hair, it's a little bit thicker, you might want to go up to 410, but nothing higher than that. This goes up to 465. You don't need 465. Just leave it in the middle. 380 is usually will work for everyone. So on these bottom little pieces here, I have a lot of interior texture and I have a lot of interior layers. So this bottom here is like a whole inch shorter than my next layer. So you can kind of see, and I cut my hair myself this time, so you can really see that it's short in the back and longer in the front. I'm a hairstylist, so I do cut my own hair occasionally. Don't do that, but I do. So on this bottom layer, all I'm gonna do is do a couple of little waves using my flat iron. And just kind of, just so that they're not straight, that's all I'm doing. Don't worry too much about what's going on down here. If your hair's longer than mine, like it's, you know, quite a bit longer, you can still just do curls on this bottom layer. It's not really gonna be seen a ton, it's just underneath, but you don't wanna ignore it either. So I'm really just doing half a curl, just so that it's not stick straight and it's not sticking out from underneath here. I'm just kind of curling the ends. So the next section, I go right at my temple here. So I just go all the way back. And your sections don't need to be super clean or anything like that. If they're messy and it's not a solid straight line, that's fine, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now we're gonna start the wave. So right here through the front, we are going to be taking horizontal sections here. And I'm taking this little front piece out because you can see it starts growing way up here, and I want a horizontal section. So I'm gonna take this horizontal section, it's about 1 inch thick, maybe a little less, and I'm gonna hold my iron parallel to this. So we're gonna go like this, we're gonna go up and down. So I'm gonna start at the top, and I'm gonna bend my flat iron directly down, and then I'm gonna flip it and bend it up and down and up. And you see this S wave pattern, and it's called an S wave because that's what it looks like. It looks like the letter S. So it just gives that really nice wave. And this is how you prevent those curls all clumping together and looking too perfect and too together. I don't know if that's the best way to say it. So then, like, one of my clients, her hair's thinned over the last couple of years. It's starting to grow back, but her ends are pretty thin and her roots are a little bit thicker. So through the front, she has a lot of little baby hairs that are trying to grow back. They're, trying to get healthy. So she curls her hair away from her face, like I've told you to do, like most hairstylists will tell you to do. It creates like this mullet look. All of her hair ends up back here and she doesn't have any hair around her face. So this is what I tell her to do too. I do this little S-wave, and then I'm gonna take this curl behind it and I'm gonna go toward my face. So I'm gonna hold my iron and curl toward my face, and I just kind of move my fingers around, and then I always kind of hold it in place like that. So this pulls my curls forward and brings me that movement in the front of my hair. And then again back here, these pieces for me don't really matter. So I'm just gonna kind of curl them and get them out of the way. Okay, same thing on this side. We're gonna do an S-wave here. And again, I'm keeping my baby hairs out of the way as much as I can. And we're gonna do, that's not gonna stay. We're just gonna move it. And I'll show you what I do with those. And we're gonna go down and up and down and up. And then again, we get this little S-wave. I don't like this one right here, so I'm gonna do that just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna curl this a little quicker down. There we go. And then I'm gonna flatten out this end. And then same thing, this side, I'm gonna curl this piece forward. And you can do this if you can just not get the hang of your dang flat iron to save your life, which I know a lot of people can't. There's like a little funny meme thing floating around, and it's like, I think it's actually a tweet, and it's like, girls who could curl their hair with a flat iron are elite. And I read the comments on it. It was like, or they're just hairstylists. I'm like, yeah, that's true. So if you can't figure this out, it is really easy, I promise. You just have to practice and take small sections. So now I'm going right up here, like there's that bone there. I'm going right above that. So I always section my hair in 4 sections. That's just what works for my head shape and my hair. Anyways, so if you can't get the hang of this, a 3-barrel or like those wavers, I think, there's like a bunch of different brands, truthfully. I couldn't tell you one specifically. I've never used one, but you can use those too and then also use a curling iron to get this look. I just love using one tool. Okay, so this little piece is gonna go back away from my face. So I'm still gonna curl that. Just go back. Again, if you can't figure out the curls, go back and watch my beach wave curls with my curling iron, and that'll help you. So this section here, this is too big. So I'm gonna split it horizontally for what I'm doing. If I was curling that, I would have curled it. But because I'm gonna do a wave right here, I'm gonna go down and up. And you see, like my iron is parallel to the ground the entire time. Up and down. And I'm really over directing that, and then you wanna make sure your ends are straight. And I'm gonna pop behind it with a curl going forward. And I'm gonna curl this one pretty curly because it's a big section and I should have split it into 2, so I'm gonna go slow. It's not gonna be super curly because it's too big of a section, but then it gives me that little wave there. Okay, so now through this section back here, I'm actually getting some length. So I'm gonna do real curls back here. And I just kind of pull my hair to the side to curl it. This piece, yeah, I can do that one over here. I don't do any S-waves in the back of my hair because it's too hard. It's too hard to hold my iron back here and flip up and down. I can hold it this way. Okay, this little piece I'm gonna curl real quick too. So because I have an S-wave underneath it, I'm gonna do a curl on top of it. And because this one's going away from my face, I'm gonna curl this one toward my face. Again, just for texture and movement. Okay, and then this side, again, we have a wave down here. So I'm gonna do a little curl around the front of my face. And I'm grabbing those little baby hairs now, just so they're not perfectly straight. Just gonna do a little curl, flip it. If that's too curly, it's fine. Okay, again, I took too big of a section on this side, which is weird. Usually my sectionings are pretty straightforward, but clip that out of the way. So now I'm gonna do an S wave. And on this side, over here, I hold my iron kind of in the front of my head. Over here, I hold it in the back. If I hold it here, it just doesn't work for me. I'm right-handed, it just doesn't work that way. So I like to hold it behind and go down and up. And you might have to hold this hair underneath there if your hair is long, and then flatten out your ends. Oh, that one kind of got crazy. It's okay though. Let's see. So that piece kind of flipped over, and that's why we got kind of crazy. You really have to keep this parallel. Okay, that's better. I can deal with it. And you don't see the S waves in the hair. They just end up underneath. Like, I don't put them on the top. So they don't create, like, if you do this on your entire head, that's why I don't like the like 3-barrel curls, because I don't think they look good on an entire head, but I think they look so good intermixed with like curl. I think they give a lot of really good movement and texture. This piece, I'm just curling these back here, just getting them out of my way. I don't know if you guys can hear my children, but they're upstairs playing with my husband. They're very loud. Okay, and I'm gonna do this piece real quick. Like, again, I'm gonna curl it because the piece underneath it is a wave, and I'm gonna go toward my face because the piece in front of it goes away. So it's all about not making anything go the same direction so that nothing flows together. It all just has its own wave and its own texture and its own movement. Okay. So now we're getting to the top, and I stop using my clip usually at this point and just kind of flip things over. And these are my long pieces. This is really where you want to focus the most attention. So I'm going to do horizontal, and I'm going to do a wave here because I don't have any waves in the back. So this one is going to be one of my only ones. Down and up and down and up and straight. And it's just real soft. And then we're gonna do, I don't ever do a whole layer waved like that, like a whole section, because then again, they just melt together too easily. So I like to do a wave and then a curl. And then this little tiny section I'm gonna curl, but this bigger section I'm gonna wave, because we don't really have any waves right by my face except that very first one I did. So down and up, holding parallel to the ground, and up, and down, and up, and straight. So you can see that really nice little S-wave pattern. And then I'm just gonna like real softly curl that back, and it'll flow eventually. And this piece, let's go away from my face. So these two both go away from my face, but underneath goes forward, so keeps it good movement. Now part it down the middle. These are all, actually these are not all gonna be curls. And the reason being is I'm gonna flip this over when I'm done. So I'm gonna do this one, a curl, let's go towards my face. And if your end gets too curly, just flatten it out. And then this one, this is gonna be a wave. And you wanna make sure your section is really combed through. And you could go down, like you could go, so I always go down and then up. When I start my section, you could go up and then down, but you get more volume this way. And I'm really over directing. I'm keeping my hair straight in there, and then I sometimes will hold it too. If it's a bigger section like that, kind of hold it in place to set it. And then this whole piece, so I'm gonna recurl that little front piece, is going to curl. And I'm gonna pull this toward this side of my face over here, and I'm going to just curl back, just softly. And I'm gonna let that set for a minute. Okay, this side. I'm gonna take that, flip it over, and do the same thing. So now this is probably going to be the top section of my hair, this one right here. But I'm not going to treat it like a top section because my hair will go both directions slightly. But I will flip this over, but mostly just the front. Okay, so we're going to do, what do I have underneath here? We're going to do this one wave. Again, we don't really have any waves in the back. You can see like I'm holding that hair right here, and sometimes I have to just turn my entire head and not look in the mirror so that I can get my arm positioning right. Because again, I just have a hard time doing it in the front like that. Okay, I'm gonna curl this one away from my face. And this little piece is going to curl away from my face. And then I'll have to restyle that probably. Okay, so here we go. Last section. So since this is gonna flip over, I'm gonna do really small little curls so that you can't really tell which direction they're going. When I flip them. So I'm gonna do one forward, one back, just kind of back and forth. But I'm pretty much only doing curls on this last section here. Yeah, I'm only doing curls here. So then this front piece right here, I would usually make go away from my face, but because it's gonna flip, I'm gonna make it go toward my face so that it goes away on this side. Does that make sense? Perfect sense, right? So I'm just gonna kind of hold it up and just curl toward my face. Okay, again, let it cool for just a second. Check your back, make sure everything has something in it, whether it's a curl or a wave or something. Okay, so cool, I've talked about this a million times. Your hair needs to be cool to the touch. So it needs to be not warm. So this piece is still, no, it's good. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take my fingers and I'm just gonna shake it out. And I know you're probably like, oh no, all your curls are gonna come out. They're not gonna come out. They're fine. They're gonna last for about 4 or 5 days. Till I wash my hair is how long they're gonna last. And this piece right here, I have a lot of these little baby hairs from babies and breakage and the things I do to my hair. So I will usually just like twist these in so that they don't stick up, but there's still a curl there. And then this side, same thing, I have those little baby hairs. So I kind of just twist. And this, so I don't like this to be like a part. I like it to be just like, I like it to just look like I woke up like this and my hair just happened to flip to this side. So I don't really like try to part that out too good. But do you see how this piece has that really curly curl in it now? Because I curled it to go toward my face on the other side. I'm gonna flatten that out a little bit because I don't like how curly that is. That's better. Okay, and then last thing I'm going to do is use my texture spray. So this is my aquage texture spray. I love, 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 love this texture spray. So what I do is I lift at my root. I just put my fingers to my head, lift, and spray. Same thing. And then I usually tuck this side just because that's how I like to wear my hair. And then this is, truthfully, it's just kind of a hairspray. So then on this side, I will give that a little bit of lift. And kind of secure my little bang area how I want it, so that it's not crazy. And there we go. Those are my curls. And so how I sleep on these and like extend them, literally nothing. Like I brush them before bed. I put dry shampoo in the next morning. Sometimes I add more texture spray. That's pretty much all I do. So these last, seriously, until I will wash my hair again. And I wash my hair about 2 times a week. So every 4 to 5-ish days, just kind of depends. Sometimes it's every 3 if I'm like hot and my hair feels sweatier than usual, or if it just feels like it's getting built up and I need to do a scalp detox, things like that. But yeah, every 3 to 4 days. So all I used, Babyliss flat iron, little clip. I talk about these all the time. You get them at Sally's. They're just butterfly clips. They're great. It works way better than a ponytail. And then my aquage texture spray and a brush. And that's how I get my everyday beach waves. So if you want to try any of this, please message me. I sell this all out of my salon, including these flat irons. They're my absolute favorite flat iron, and I sell them for cheaper than you will find them anywhere else. Ulta, Babyliss's website, I will sell them for less than that. So be sure to message me if you want to try any of that, or email me. My email's in the comments. And thank you for watching. Have a good day, and be sure to hit that subscribe button.